A trip to Walt Disney World can be just a little bit daunting. I was holding my hand up, you didn't see it. Just a little bit daunting. Actually, it can be very daunting with so much to know. So, where do you find all this information? Luckily for you, you're in the right place. Disney for Brits is the place where you'll find everything you need to know about your Orlando holiday. And this on Disney for Brits Live will tell you everything you need to know about Walt Disney World. So get a drink, get comfortable, sit back, relax, and welcome to Disney for Brits Live. Welcome to Disney for Brits Live. This time we're doing an introduction to Walt Disney World. These are a different kind of video for me. There's not masses of editing. There's not lots of cuts. You'll hear me fluff my words, but this is an authentic video for you. I thought I'd put this together to give people the inside sight on everything you need to know. Everything you need to know about Walt Disney World and Florida as a whole. So you'll see me chatting to you. We're doing some screen sharing. Any comments you've got, just put them in the comments section once you've seen the video, and I'll pop back in and respond to all of those that I can. If you can, we'd love you to like and subscribe to the channel because this is all about helping you. The more people we can help, the better. And obviously click the little bell when that appears and then you'll get notified when the next video comes along. And I'll be doing more of these. So let's talk about Walt Disney World. And I'm going to flip over to another screen to show you a little bit more about Orlando and where Disney sits into it. So I'll be doing this with the help of my trusty browser down here. And I'll show you a number of sites. This is showing you Walt Disney World. It's a really good place to go. There's lots and lots of information on there. Universal have one, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld have them all. But I'm going to focus in this video on Walt Disney World. So let's go a bit bigger so you can see the screen rather than just me. Okay, bigger video now. This is Walt Disney World's main site. You can see at the moment, and I'm recording this in July 2024. They've currently got some free dining offers for next year. Definitely worth checking those out. Find a travel agent and they'll help you and you'll get some good deals. And I do always recommend that you work with a travel agent. A travel agent is free and they will have all the insight, knowledge and information on your holiday. Yes, you can go on to all of the various boards and chat rooms and groups on Facebook, but actually nothing's really better than somebody that's just there to give you that holiday. Right, let's talk about getting to Orlando. And actually, how far away is it? First thing you're going to see, he says, clicking on the right screen. There we go. It's a long way. It's about 4,500 miles. So you'll be flying from the UK over here and then down here to Orlando. Now, there's a number of places you can fly from. In the UK, you can fly from London Gatwick, you can fly from Heathrow, you can fly from Manchester. I think you can fly from Glasgow now, either on Virgin, BA, Norse also do it, and Aer Lingus. And Aer Lingus do something quite interesting where you actually fly from the UK to Dublin. You do your check-in at Dublin and you actually do American security in Dublin, so that when you get all the way to Orlando, you don't have to clear immigration. So that's something worth looking at. So where do you go when you get to Orlando? Let's flip over here now. Again, I'm going to get used to this screen. Honest. Right. We're now in Orlando and you're going to go, David, that's a really big map of Orlando, but I've done this for a reason. One of the things that you can do these days is you can fly into a number of different airports. So you can fly down here, get my mouse over there to Tampa. Hold on. There we go. You can fly down here to Tampa. So Virgin will fly you to Tampa. Generally, the flights are cheaper, but you've got a bit of a drive to get up to Orlando. That's about an hour and a half. Really easy driving in Florida, but you need to leave about an hour and a half for that. You can fly into Melbourne. So Chewy, who I forgot at the beginning, but Chewy will fly you into Melbourne. You've got about an hour and 10 drive here up the 192. And then Orlando itself, you've got Orlando International MCO Airport, and that's where most of the big companies fly into. So British Airways and Virgin and North will all fly into Orlando Airport, or MCO as it's known. Let's go a bit closer. So now, how does that stack up with where are the things you want to go? So we're just looking at Orlando Airport. So I'm presuming you're flying in here because the map would be too big if I had the rest of them. But Orlando Airport's over here. Down here, you've got Walt Disney World, and Walt Disney World is 43 or 47 square miles of fun. And I'll talk to you more about that in a second. You've got Universal Resort up here, currently Universal Studios Orlando, Islands of Adventure, and then City Walk, and then of course Volcano Bay. So you've got two theme parks, one water park, and one nighttime district. You've got Orlando itself, so downtown Orlando up here. It's quite fun to go and have a look around there. Different kind of vibe. And then SeaWorld down here. SeaWorld, you've got the main park and then you've got Discovery Bay. SeaWorld, much less about performing animals these days, more about massive roller coasters, really good roller coasters. And then Discovery Bay, where you get to swim with dolphins. So they've really changed the way they do things. Let's spin over to Google Earth. And now you can see a little bit more of Walt Disney World here. And what I'm trying to show you with this is this bit here is Walt Disney World. Universal Studios is there, and then you've got the I-4, which is your main drive around there. What's really not helpful is the direction of this map. But we're just going to leave it and we'll come on to one other one. Right. Let's go to Walt Disney World's website. So, as I said, this is a great place to go to find out everything you need to know about Walt Disney World, as well as having all the usual things like offers and dining. Up the top here, there's some great information. You can see all about the theme parks. Walt Disney World has got 4 theme parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. You have 2 water parks, which are not often open at the same time. Quite often, you'll have Typhoon Lagoon open, Blizzard Beach for refurb, and the other way round. Information on tickets and passes and special events. You'll get opening hours and you can see the opening hours of all the parks. There's one other place which doesn't talk about here, which is Disney Springs, which is an eating and shopping area. But they've started to put some nighttime shows on there. So some really interesting things going on there. Places to stay. This is where you find all about the Walt Disney World resorts. And there are 20 plus resorts across the estate. And I'll show you a little bit about them when we go onto a more interactive map. So your choice when you're staying in Orlando, there are tens of thousands of hotels. If you stay on site at Disney, there's some benefits which have actually recently been improved. You get early entry into the parks, which means you get to that ride 30 minutes before people that are staying off park. They've just introduced a new thing called Lightning Lane Multipass, where you can pre-reserve 3 rides that you want to get on and get a set time allocated throughout the day. We'll do a different video about that because that's really new news and it's a little bit complicated. I don't want to do it within this. So Walt Disney World resorts are a great place to stay. You can also stay at hotels in Disney Springs. They interestingly also get the early entry and the multi-pass benefit as well. Then obviously, so you've got things like houses, which are great for families, villas with pools, and off-site resorts and hotels. And I'll do something more about hotels a little bit later. There's some gotchas that you need to have a look out for on the non-Disney hotels. You'll probably look at a Disney hotel and say, well, hang on a minute, that's £150 a night. That seems really expensive when I can get this one at Disney Springs for 95. 2 things you need to look out for, fingers. There, 2 things is a resort charge, which can be up to £40 a day. And also you need to look out for parking charges, which again can be £30 a day. So before you know it, you're actually paying the same price as a Disney resort. Disney resorts are in 4 different categories. You have value resorts, you have moderate resorts, you have deluxe resort hotels and deluxe villas, and we'll talk a little bit more about those. Down here, there's the other resorts that are Disney resorts, but not in the main collection, the Dolphin, the Swan, and the Swan Reserve. And then there's some other ones down here. And here's the Disney Springs hotels. Always good to look at things to do. You can see about dining reservations. It'll tell you about all of the main things that are going on there. It'll talk about the main rides. And then a great place to go here is deals. Don't forget, though, get yourself a Disney qualified travel agent and they'll be able to do all the work for you. So a really good thing to do, spend a bit of time around, look at all the things that are going on, look at the offers. Interestingly, for the UK, we do get this 14-day UK magic ticket. If you're buying tickets at the gate, expect to pay about $150 a day. Yes, a day. When you buy the 14-day ticket, that's more like £35 a day. So great value when you consider you've got all of those parks included in it. And you get some great things like Photo Pass, which I'll talk about again later. Always new rides coming on at Walt Disney World, always new things happening. So it's a great place to be. Right, let's look a little bit more into Walt Disney World. So here we go. Got the Orlando International Airport, the I-4. This is the main road that runs through Orlando. It's a bit like our M25. It can be quite slow, but it's okay. The 192 here is another road that will run down the bottom, down the south edge of Walt Disney World, and there's lots and lots of shopping and restaurants and places there as well. One thing to bear in mind in Florida, there are lots and lots of toll roads, and see here the 528 is a toll road. In fact, the quickest way to get from the airport to Disney is on a toll road. It'll take you 30 minutes, whereas the normal roads can take you 40 or 50. If you're flying into Orlando, get yourself a visitor's toll pass and just Google visitors toll pass. Do not, under any circumstances, take, if you get a rental car, the toll offer that they give you when you purchase a rental car. It will cost you between $5 and $20 a day, whether you use it or not, and then they'll charge the toll fees on top. Visitors Toll Pass, whilst hard to say, is really easy to use. You register it online, you pick it up from a machine at Orlando Airport before you go and get your rental car, pop it onto your windscreen, and then as you go, you'll just get charged for the tolls. And then when you come home, pop it into a little envelope or into a little slot in a little machine. There's a post box there, and you're done. You just get charged for the tolls that you've incurred. Right, let's look a little bit closer at Walt Disney World. So here you can see this is on the Walt Disney World website. I'm still there. So we're just going to zoom in a little bit. And one of the things you'll see, the map is great because as you zoom in, it gives you more detail. So we can see here that we have Disney Hollywood Studios, Disney's Animal Kingdom, Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, Disney Springs, Epcot, and then the Magic Kingdom. Again, I-4 going down there, and then the 192 going along the bottom here. These yellow roads, all of that is Walt Disney World property. And as I said, it's between 43 and 47 square miles, depending on who you talk to. And this came about because when Walt Disney made Disneyland in California, he very quickly became landlocked with hotels all the way around. So what is a most magical place has got small, maybe not as nice as they could be, hotels all the way around it. So he made sure he didn't repeat it here. Have a look on Google at how Walt Disney World bought how Walt Disney bought Walt Disney World. There's some really interesting stuff there. Effectively, what he did was he secretly was buying up plots of land all over Orlando to make sure that he could get as much space as he's got. And you can see from this map, they've hardly even touched the amount of space that they've got. So we're going to go this time. We're going to go and about Walt Disney World. Actually, before I do that, let's talk about the four parks. So Walt Disney, the Magic Kingdom is the main park with the castle. It's the one that everybody knows. Epcot is all about both the future, and there's some really interesting exhibits and rides there, including Guardians of the Galaxy, which is Disney's first reverse roller coaster. And then you've got World Showcase, and there's a lagoon going all around the edge where you can eat, drink, and visit 11 countries. And drinking around the world is a thing. If you've been able to do 11 drinks, congrats, because that's a lot of drink. Animal Kingdom is Disney's nature park. It has an amazing safari, superb rides. Here is where you'll also find Pandora, which is the Avatar land, amazing during the day and during the night. And actually, for nearly all of the places, I would say for all of the parks, you need to visit them both at daytime and at nighttime because the whole look and feel and experience is completely different. Final park down here, Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, as you would expect, is all about films, but there's two things here that are really special, as well as all the normal rides. And there's Indiana Jones, and there's what you can see there, which is the Tower of Terror, which is a 13-story drop. You'll also find Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, and also Toy Story Land, which is amazing for kids. So adults and kids all kept happy in the same place. Finally, as I said, Blizzard Beach water park there, Typhoon Lagoon there, Disney Springs. One of the questions I see quite a lot on the Facebook groups I'm a member of is, can we walk from park to park? So you'll look at this and you'll go, no, you can't. Well, actually, you can. You can walk from a few places. You can walk from Disney Springs round into some of the resorts and to Typhoon Lagoon, and you can actually go from Hollywood Studios to Epcot. So there's a few places that you can walk. But luckily, Disney World has amazing transport, which is included in the price of your Disney resort hotel that'll get you everywhere. So let's delve into the Magic Kingdom. Do this old zoomy thing here. Here we go. Right. So the Magic Kingdom, you can see there, has got a number of hotels around it. So this checkered line here is what's known as the monorail loop. And one of the things you need to know is if you go to the Magic Kingdom, you cannot drive to the start or to the entrance of the park. You actually have to park in here, a huge parking area where tens of thousands of cars go every day. And then you have to get over here to the Magic Kingdom Park. And you can do that in one of four ways. So you can take the monorail, and there's an express route that goes from here backwards to the Magic Kingdom, or there is a resort route that stops at the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and takes you to the Magic Kingdom. Or you can take a steam looking boat, so a big American style boat, which will take you straight from there across to the Magic Kingdom. Or you can take small boats. So if you just walk left to the Polynesian, there are small boats called Friendships, and they will take you on a much smaller boat, a much nicer way over to the Magic Kingdom. Or if you're feeling particularly energetic, you can actually walk. It's about a mile to go from the place here, so from the TTC, Transportation and Ticket Centre, round to the Magic Kingdom. Now, bear in mind the Florida weather, it could be very hot or very wet or both. So you may want to choose one of the other routes. Actually, when you park your car, you can walk to the TTC, but Disney, because they're used to lots and lots of people, they run trams that will take you from various places in the car parks to the TTC for you to hop across. You need to leave probably 45 minutes to an hour from getting into the car park to getting over to the entrance of the Magic Kingdom. And that's really important when you're doing things like early entry or you want to be there for rope drop when the park opens. Allow yourself 1 hour to get from the car park to the entrance of the park. So if the park opens at 9 a.m., you really need to be in the car park at 7:30 so that you can get across to the entrance at 8:30 so you're there at the front of the queue when they open the park. Also, when you park, make a note of where you've parked. There's two ways that people can do this, three ways. There's a way in the My Disney Experience app where you can actually record the location of your car. As you can do it in Google, I think you can drop a pin or just take a photo of the lane where you've parked your car, and all the lanes will have a character and a number. Make sure you get that because there are tens of thousands of cars parked there every single day. We've had to wander around trying to find our car, and that was with knowing everything we know. So don't be that person. Make sure you remember where your car is. So we are at the entrance of the Magic Kingdom now. Let's zoom in a little bit more and see what we can see. So at the front of the Magic Kingdom, there are a number of things. Firstly, here, there's a train station, and all the way around the edge of the Magic Kingdom Park is a train. It stops at Frontierland and it stops at Adventureland. In fact, no, it stops at Frontierland and it stops over here in Mickey's Toontown. And you can get off the train and have a stroll around there. It's a really nice way to just get a rest halfway through the day. You will be doing a lot of walking when you go there. We tend to walk 5 to 10 miles every day. So wear comfortable shoes, have sunscreen, make sure you stay hydrated. And if you've got little ones, I tend to suggest go in there in the morning, come out and go back to your hotel for a swim, and then go back again in the evening if you want to see your fireworks or see things or go to a different park. If you've got the UK Magic Pass, you can park hop, which means you can go Magic Kingdom in the morning and Epcot in the afternoon and even Hollywood Studios in the evening. If you buy a single day pass, you may not be able to do that. You have to pay more for a park hopper. So we're really fortunate with our UK pass. Right, let's look at the Magic Kingdom some more. So as you can see here, there's a number of lands here. Main Street USA, Adventureland, Frontierland, Liberty Square, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland. And right in the middle of it is this place here called the Hub, and there is Cinderella's Castle. So when you come into Walt Disney World, the first thing you go down is Main Street USA. And Main Street USA is shops. So somebody at some point said, actually, when people come in and out of theme parks, and this was one of the things that Disney designed first thing you do is shops. On your way in, I wouldn't worry so much about the shops. You'll have plenty of time to do it. Certainly, if you're doing rope drop, get straight to the rides that you want to ride because you'll be wasting time in the shops and the stuff will be there when you come out. However, if you see something in one of the shops that you think you might want to buy it, do not put that purchase off. Do not think I'll buy it another day because I guarantee you will never find it again. There are thousands of shops within Walt Disney World with millions of bits of I was going to say SKUs, which is a retail thing, millions of things for you to buy. The chance of you remembering the park, the shop, the location is very, very small. And also, some things get sold out really, really quickly. So if you see something that you want to buy it there and then. Don't put it off because you may never find it again. So we're back in Main Street. So we have some shops and we have some food places along the way, and there's food places everywhere. I'll do another video, another D4B live about food because I can talk about that as long as I can talk about this. Halfway up here, there's a Starbucks. So if you need your Starbucks hit, go there. Again, don't do it on your way in. Do it when you've done those first rides. Don't waste time there. If you need any assistance, down here on the left-hand side, there's City Hall, and that's where you'll find cast members. No staff at Disney, just cast members there to help you. And over on the right-hand side is where you can meet Mickey and Minnie and some of the other stars. So up to the middle here, Cinderella's Castle. There's a number of trains have thought about how you should do the parks in the morning. Some people say always go left. Other people say always go right. My take on this is go to the rides that you want to do first. So for this one, we're just going to go left just because it's easier. So we're starting off in Adventureland, and you'll see there's bridges and walkways through. Adventureland is where, let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so here we can see the Sunshine Tree Terrace. This is where you'll find Dole Whip, an amazing pineapple ice cream. It's quite sweet, but very cool. Swiss Family Treehouse, a great place for the kids to run off some energy in the afternoon, and you to enjoy your Dole Whip. Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which is a little bit like the Dumbo ride. Jungle Cruise is a really quirky, old-fashioned, corny ride where the staff on there, the cast members on there, the skippers have a whole script of corny jokes. Just go on there and enjoy it. It's gonna be corny. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room is one of the original exhibits. It's about 15 to 20 minutes in an air-conditioned room where you'll be serenaded by birds and plants in a very, very cool theme. Definitely worth a sit down. Pirates of the Caribbean, really cool ride. uh, Was the inspiration for the Johnny Depp films, and now you might even see Johnny Depp in there. Pecos Bill, good place to eat. Definitely recommend that. And over here is a new place that's opened in the last few weeks, Tiana's Bio Adventure. It's a log flume ride with a whole lot of fun stuff inside. Definitely worth a visit. Over here, then, Big Thunder Mountain, one of the three mountains at Walt Disney World. You have Big Thunder, you have Space. Can't remember the third one. It'll come back to me. Tom Sawyer Island in the middle here is where you can get a boat across, and again, somewhere for the kids to enjoy themselves. And then we're walking along here. Shops, Country Bears has just been closed, but will be opening again soon. And then we're coming up here into Liberty Square. You can go on the riverboat, which will take you around Tom Sawyer's Island. Again, a nice little jaunt, about 25 minutes of calmness. Hall of Presidents, if you want to go and see all the American presidents in audio animatronic mode, and this is robots. Again, nice 25 minutes sit down somewhere cool. And then here's Haunted Mansion, one of the most famous Walt Disney World rides. Not massively scary for kids, does get dark. There is a bit of thunder and lightning, and there's a few ghosts and skeletons in there, but all very light-hearted. So there's your first two lands. Let's go across now into Fantasyland. So Fantasyland is all themed around Cinderella's castle. This is where this is kids' paradise, effectively. Small World. Warn you, if you go on this, that tune will be in your head forever. It's about a 20-minute air-conditioned ride through the whole world with lots and lots of cute little dolls. Peter Pan's Flight. If this is one of the ones you want to get onto, get on that early. The queue very quickly will go up to 90 minutes. It's only about a 60-second ride. Very cool, where you are flying over London, but definitely worth it. Magic, another 20-minute or so sit down in an air-conditioned room, a 3D show with some really cool effects. That's definitely one I recommend. And then Prince Charming's Regal Carousel in the morning, in the middle, a nice ride around on some really, really old horses, various things. It's good fun. Enchanted Tales with Belle here is a nice little walkthrough where if you've got little ones that like Beauty and the Beast, it's a good place for them to go because they will actually enact and act Beauty and the Beast with Belle. So very, very cool. This is Belle's Castle or Beast Castle, and under here is Be Our Guest Restaurant, a very cool restaurant. It's got three different rooms in there, all from Beauty and the Beast, and the Beast will make an appearance. So check that one out. Gaston's Tavern. Gaston's Tavern is where you'll find the biggest cinnamon bun I've ever seen. It's massive. It's about $6, so about £5, but worth it, and probably should feed two or three, but may well just feed one. And restrooms. So if you've not been to America before, they're not called toilets, they're not called loos, they're either called powder rooms or restrooms. and just ask cast members for them. You can't have a rest in them. They're toilets. Don't understand, but that's what they're called. Over here, you've got a few other places. Princess Fairy Tale Hall is where you will go to meet the princesses. So get your Lightning Lane Maltese for those, or you can buy Lightning Lanes to go and meet the princesses. And they change the princesses now and then. So check out who's there. Few more places to eat food. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, another little dark ride. Dark rides are where it's generally UV lighting and there's all kinds of scenes. About 60 seconds. And then in the corner here, you will meet Pooh. He does go there sometimes with his friend Tigger. This is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, opened up maybe 2 years ago. Very, very cool ride. Very, very high demand. So you're going to need to want to get there early to get in the queue to do that, or it's a lightning lane, or at the end of the day, another good option there. Mad Hatter's Tea Party, that's the spinning cups that you'll see all the time. If you like spinny things, give it a go. I don't. I give it a miss. So we've seen Gaston up here. Here is the Under the Sea Journey and the Little Mermaid. A nice little ride where it takes you through and you meet Flounder and Sebastian and Ursula. And it's a reenactment of the Little Mermaid. Really cool music, really cool show. Over here now, we're in what used to be called Mickey's Toontown, but this is really a kids' play area. So I would say this is the under fives place to go. You've got two Dumbo the Flying Elephants here. And once you check in for this, you'll get given a pager so you can go and play somewhere else. There's a Barnstorm, which is just kids' roller coaster. There's a splash and soak station in the middle. So when the Florida heat gets really hot, clearly making sure they've got sun cream on, this is the place to go so your little ones can stay nice and cool. And then when your pager goes off, back and fly Dumbo. And actually, just up here in this corner, there's a big tent, air conditioned, seats, phone chargers, quiet. So, a really good place to escape to. And here's the Disney World Railroad should you want to get a train. So now we're going to come back through here and we're going to our final place, which is Tomorrowland. Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe. There's an animatronic alien there that plays an organ and plays music for you. Really cool food in there. You'll find Auntie Gravity's Galaxy Goodies here, which is ice creams, and then the launching pad and a few places to eat food here. This here's the Tomorrowland Speedway where kids and adults of any age can take a drive on a car. It's on rails, so there's no damage. If you've got a little one, there is a small height restriction, but if the adult sits in with the car, you can do the accelerator and your little one can drive a car, which is very cool. And then over here is one of the new rides that's opened up recently, Tron's Light Cycle Run. Really, really, really cool. You'll be launched off on a motorbike. You'll go around a big loop and then go into this room and effectively ride the motorbike through the world of Tron. Again, high demand, good to get there early in the morning, late in the evening, or lightning lanes. Space Mountain, one of the other mountains I mentioned. And this again, roller coaster ride in the dark. Very, very cool. Again, high demand, but thoroughly recommend it. If you want to slow down a little bit, down here you'll see Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. This was one of the original rides in the 1950s World Fair, where you sit in 20 minutes air conditioning. I keep mentioning that, don't I? Florida gets really, really hot. You will thank me for these 20 minutes of air conditioning. Difference here to most other theatres is you rotate around the scenes and the scenes stay in the middle. So that'll take about 20 minutes where you will follow a family through the 19th century to the 20th century, learning about all the things that have changed. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, where you sit on a spaceship and you fire at targets and you get points and you try and save Buzz Lightyear from Zurg. And then back here, as we said, Astro Orbiter, up high. It's a little bit Dumbo. You're 3 stories high already, and then you get to move it up and down using the lever. A really cool ride as well. And that is the park. Now, there are so many rides within this park. So many that the best thing to do is get yourself a map and have a look around them and see what rides are there. Couple of other things to bear in mind. Up here in front of the castle is a stage, and there will be shows here a number of times a day. So check the My Disney Experience app and it'll tell you what times are there. There's also fireworks at least once a night, generally at around 9 o'clock. And those fireworks will take place behind the castle with projections on it. Lots of people stand in the middle here to watch the fireworks, and you really need to be there a good 30 to 40 minutes before the fireworks show, and you will be standing and waiting. They also project down Main Street, so another good place is to stand along Main Street, and you'll get the projections of the fireworks and to see the fireworks. And some people suggest it's really good to watch the fireworks behind, because whilst you don't see the projection, you do get to see the fireworks. And the fireworks are fired from all the way back here, and they are amazing. Let's just see if we can find a Magic Kingdom map. So let's have a look. Places to stay, things, parks and tickets, Magic Kingdom. Oh, look, it was down there. As with most things, these things are all hidden there. So I'm going to go back to the page I was on. Down here was maps and transportation. What I want to see if I can get is a map of the park. Okay, so there's not one there. So we're back onto this one. You can actually download the Walt Disney World maps. Let me just see if I can find it. So you can see the maps are available at the entrance using Google Maps, interactive maps. Okay. So they're going to point me back to the maps that we've just looked at. Now, if we look at the Magic Kingdom, the benefit of doing it with this map is as I go in more. So let's look at Tron, for instance. You can get a better view on what's going on. And then here, it'll just show me more of the various rides there. And we go, Tiana's Bio Adventure opening June the 28th. So that's been open a few days now. And the website is your friend to find all of the information you need about the parks and what you can go on. A few other things to bear in mind before we go. Some of the rides will have height restrictions, 48 inches, etc. They will measure your child when you go onto the ride. So please, please, please measure your youngster before you try and queue for rides. I've seen so many things where children are there in tears because they're just not tall enough to ride. No point arguing with the cast members. The rules are set for safety. So just measure your children before you go on. And you'll see they have categorizations of rides that are good for kids, tells you whether it's got drops, tells you whether there's attraction photography. So the ride will actually take pictures of you. And if you click on some of these places, like here it says kids, then there's lots of information on what rides are best for you. So there you have it. Walt Disney World, everything you need to know about Walt Disney World. I'm going to try and flip back to my map. So remember, Walt Disney World itself, 43 or 47 square miles. There's everything you need to do there. All we've done is looked at one of the four parks, two water parks, shopping district, 20 plus hotels. So there's so much more to do. Hope you found that useful. This has been the first time that I've done a live, so apologies if I fluffed my lines a bit, but it's much more authentic. If you want to know more about this, then check out the other videos on Disney4brits, and also actually look for Disney Parks. They have some really good YouTube videos there. You'll also find me on TikTok as Disney David. I just love to help people. Any questions you've got, pop them in the comments. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. If you've got any hints and tips, please share them in the comments as well. This is a massive holiday for people. It's a massive investment. And I want to do everything I can to help you and your family have an amazing time. So that was it. Our first episode of Disney for Brits Live. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to go and have a lie down now. And as our pal Mickey says, I'll see you real soon.